peace, y'all.
Hey family, what's up? Peace to everybody.
All is well. I
Yep.
like this background. What was the background choice?
It was for like, planetary type of I was trying to look for like astrology, but I was like that caught my eye, so I said I'll change it up time to time.
I like it. I like the alignment of the light.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm gonna
nice.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first because there's a lot of stuff going on. So there's so much going on in this world. It's like it's unbelievable right now. We are in a time of like ascension right now, and the planet is steady, going through a process, evolving, and everybody evolving with it. So we're moving at the speed of light right now as we speak. But
Mm-hmm.
everything is for a reason. Every it has a purpose too. But what you were seeing like in a retrograde and astrology, as far as like the planetary shift.
We had a couple big planetary shifts happen. Actually, like Aries entered the Aries constellation in June. That was at the beginning of the summertime. Now, Aries had been in the Pisces constellation since like the late 1800s, like 1890 something. So that comes to a lot of the energy of like we're the ones that our ancestors summoned as far as like the women's circle, if you will. It kind of reminds me of the episode of American Horror Story, that season where they had the men and the women, and it's kind of like, the women that are here today are the women that in the 1800s summoned us. We're the ones that's here today. And so a lot of what the simulation is about here in this realm is the feminine energy navigating and infiltrating through all the masculine realms. And so we see the effect of it on different levels, and it's quite comical, but like I don't want to laugh at people, but I do want to laugh at people. But it's just like people's interpretation of being infiltrated with feminine energy, and what that becomes of them and their experiences. Some people don't know how to handle it. Some people are kind of like, the idea was good. Your heart's in the right place, but you wasn't supposed to do that with that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different levels to these different things, and so that's how Aries and Aries energy. Now Aries will be in the Aries zodiac energy till 2044, and Aries entered the Aries zodiac in 1925. So, we have that energy going on there. Also, Sedna is a big planet that deals with the the overall spiritual energy of the community, and the fact that we just had the draconic reset in the north and south nodes. Our north and south nodes have been in Aries and Libra, and that's the draconic, lunar orbit placement. So it's like the sun has locked in with the moon orbit. And so we're having like a spiritual reset, which is so dope because now that I'm talking about it, this is around the same time that Sedna enters Gemini. So Sedna had been in Taurus since like the 1960s somethings. And so 1966, I want to say. I don't know why that number's popping in my head, but I want to say it was 1966 is when Sedna entered Taurus, and that's when we had the love movement and love everybody and diversity, and everybody's hugging and holding hands. And now we're in a space where it's just like we're in that transition period between the Taurus love energy and the Gemini community. So a lot of that like love energy is like in certain places, because it's a very thin line between like that love and hate energy. So dealing with like that, in the static in between channels is very interesting too. So those are two big shifts that we started the summer with, and it was like really cool to see how the summer played out. So now that we're at the end of the summer, we're going through retrogrades. So a lot of the things that we dealt with going forward, we're going to deal with again going back. It's kind of like when you're sweeping the floor and you're like, okay, I still see shit. So you sweep the floor again. So now we're sweeping the floor again. By the time we enter next summer, we would have swept the same degrees 3 times. Because we go forward, then we go back the same degrees, and then we go forward again the same degrees. So we're really in a space of like cleaning these areas. And one area in particular is the sacral chakra. Now, the sacral chakra is ruled by Jupiter, and this is a place where, like, if you got an overactive sacral chakra, you get into the space of addiction and obsession. So you see a lot of addicts and their addictions and their obsessions coming out. Sacral chakra also rules over sexuality, so a lot of sexual deviance and stuff like that. The sacral chakra on the feminine side deals with Neptune and Pisces energy. So what's in Pisces? Saturn and Neptune, as well as the asteroid Karma. All three of them are in Pisces in retrograde. So they're going back through these degrees in Pisces, which deals with anything beneath the horizon, like hidden agendas, Akashic records, secrets, dreams, hidden enemies, anything that's hidden, whatever you got behind the curtain. Saturn is bringing the challenges to you keeping that shit behind the curtain. Neptune is bringing that collective awareness, because Neptune is in Pisces in the 8th house, ruled by Pisces, and then it's in Pisces on the tropical and the Vedic chart. So like, spiritual awakening is here, baby. Like, the portal is open. And
Facts.
so it's like spirit is really, today and tomorrow, the sun is trying Jupiter. Jupiter just went in retrograde on Monday. So, and it just so happened to be like, this is the first Thursday. This is the first Jupiter ruled day of the Jupiter retrograde, and everybody's Cash App is shut down. Mind you, Jupiter's in retrograde in Taurus.
I noticed that. Yeah, Cash App. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I was expecting a lot of glitches to happen in between these time zones.
Yeah, a lot of it's going to happen in your money, in your pinnacles, and your possessions and stuff like that, because Jupiter is going back through those things. And remember what happened the last time Jupiter was in these degrees? The CEO of Cash App, that happened to him. And so like that, also the things that happened with the Titanic brought back the conversation of the federal debt note and all the different stories surrounding that, and how it was individuals that was against the Federal Reserve note coming out that was on the Titanic. And wasn't the Titanic that sunk. It was a whole different other boat. So like, it's just like a whole bunch of different stories within stories around that. But it talks about like how the Federal Reserve note even got to be from, that death that happened. And so now they're trying to pull out the what is it called? Fentanyl. And so like, it's more deaths, the cryptocurrency when it's so like, you're going to see a lot more of that happening again, at least a couple more times. Also Uranus is in Taurus as well in retrograde. So with Jupiter and Uranus both in retrograde in Taurus, Uranus has been in Taurus since March 2019, and that's when the whole, us having to be 6 feet, 10 feet from each other first started, right? So that shows you just how much of an effect that Uranus has. Uranus went into Taurus on the 19th of March. By the 30th of March, we wasn't allowed to leave our houses. So that big, effect of a planet going in retrograde, repeating those degrees of like progress and change happening in our heart chakras. Now, Taurus deals with the possessive part of your heart chakra, your work ethic, how business moves, how you get your money, how you maintain your money, as well as your self-value, self-esteem. It deals with the more so like a lot of the material world, but in the realms of like your eyes and the beauty, what's beautiful to you. So you're going to see a lot of more stuff coming up in the realms of fashion and beauty, making progressive changes in that realm, especially as people's definitions of fashion and beauty change. There's going to be a lot of companies that close out and more open. Pluto is down there in Capricorn, creating transformations in the place of market and business as well as authority. So you're seeing those transformations happening in government. Well, we don't really have a government. It's a corporation. You're going to see all these changes happening in all these corporations and the hierarchy of their corporations and their sub branches and stuff like that. And a lot of it is going to be because of that Saturn and Pisces. A lot of them was creating delusions and illusions to us and making us think that certain things was what it was when it wasn't. And so, with Saturn as well as Karma and Neptune all in retrograde in that Pisces energy, a lot of that, company stepping down, company closing up is going to be a lot to do with secrets and conspiracy theories finally getting their flowers, and a lot to do with people's like hidden agendas and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty dope sight to see. I'm actually really excited about that. I'm excited about Uranus entering Gemini at some point in time because Uranus will enter Gemini in 2024, and then it does the retrograde thing, but I think it's going to be stable together by like 2026. And so like Uranus and Gemini I find very interesting because look at how much change it made like as soon as it entered Taurus. And as it's been entering Taurus, like we started off in that season only having like one cryptocurrency. We wasn't taking it seriously, and now we have like I don't even know how many, and to the point where like governmental corporations are wanting to do like cryptocurrency as well. The things that people want to possess is a lot different. People wanting businesses and stuff like that. All of that is different now as
Definitely.
well.
Yeah. But I was looking at a lot of channelers, people that's channeling information from like the other side, the spiritual side. And they were saying some real like brief information that we really need as far as like what we need to do in these times like this, because everybody really got to adjust to like what's really going on and pretty much don't panic, because it's the changes that's with this ascension that's taking place. I know it's kind of like stress to a lot of people, but people got to really understand and stay in the got to stay in spirit, got to stay in a good spirit mode, because you want to stay balanced as much as you can, because lower vibration brings a lot of lower vibration into your house, and that lower vibration can escalate relationships. It can escalate tension between family members and everything existing around you. The job, what I'm saying, trying hard, trying to keep a dollar in your pocket and stuff like that. I know it's hard, but you really got to stay focused, because you really is beyond that, you know what I mean? Because you're a spiritual being.
I agree. You're absolutely right. If you stay rooted in spirit instead of being rooted in the human experience, it actually brings like a easier perspective to what's going on. Like I'm comfortable. I'm not worried. I'm not bothered. If there's certain things that my vessel needs in survival in this realm, I trust, my spirit is gonna make it happen however it needs to happen. It is what it is. I'm not gonna go without. It just might not always look the way I would like for it to look. And a lot of the things in my thoughts of how I think I would like for something to look is indoctrinated anyway. So like let's see. Um yeah, it's all about, trusting spirit and being in alignment with the cosmos and knowing that these things are all working in your favor. Like we were summoned here at this space and time to witness what's going on, to stand in our post and do what we're supposed to be doing in this realm. A lot of these people out here they like circulatory energy. I know when you get into people human design more specifically, it's a
Yep.
better title for it. But you
Yep.
got people that just here to circulate energy. But
Mm-hmm.
like I'm a manifester.
Yeah.
So like I'm supposed to be at a post where people come and circulate through me and what I manifest, what I produce, what I put out. You're supposed to come around me, and and there's other people like me. You got manifestors, and then you got manifestor generators. It's like levels to the shit. So,
Yep.
you
Yep.
got those different things going on or whatever. And then it's not even just that. You got life path numbers with it too. Like I'm an 11. I'm a horse, Virgo horse 11 manifester. You know what I'm saying? Like it's codes to it. And you can get real specific, real specific. And that give you an idea of like what exactly you supposed to be doing. Like everything is already written out for you. You just got to be willing to read it. But it's by design that they taught you that the manual is whimsical and magic. You're not supposed to feed into it. But you're supposed to go to this school every day where we smudged everything, even the timetable to things. Like the way the time stamps are set up and a lot of historical events make absolutely no sense. And they also like molded pop culture to look a certain way during certain phases and stages of life so that we wouldn't have certain discernment when we're hearing these stories. But I always had a certain level of discernment because I never thought about historic figures as not having personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like there had to be people like us back then. There's no way there wasn't no shit talking back then. Like there's no way like, energy is not created or destroyed. So you
Yeah,
want me to believe that like all these things was going on and it wasn't energy like us back there in the midst of it. I don't believe that because
yeah.
every era you hear about like there is a militia, there are organizations, there are these things. So
Mm-hmm.
they be out here
Yeah.
lying. It's nothing new under the sun. We not doing nothing revelational, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We just watching the fall of an empire. Like,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last
That
time
that
Pluto was here, it was a fall of a different one. Now it's a fall of these ones.
it actually happened like I'm gonna say like because Earth is so old, it's like billions and billions, trillion years old, and
Mm-hmm.
we've actually been here since the beginning of the creation. That's a long time. So we lived through a lot of avatars on Earth. Then
Yeah.
on top of that, we got held. Um, a lot of the lower, I'm gonna say these lower entities wanted to keep us here and use our energy over and over and over and over and over and over. Recycle, recycle, recycle. They were stopping us actually from progressing and evolving and they didn't want us to leave because they know they're using our energy for like to keep this matrix up. And
Mm-hmm.
they use that energy of like everybody that that's tuned into like cosmic information or cosmic beings, and being the fact that we don't know we have this power, somebody else going to subside it and use it for you. So that's what they're doing. They're using our power. You know what I mean? So now we at the time of where we took our power back and we moving forward. We moving to a new 5D ascension Earth. We moving to a timeline that's going to be better for everybody because the timeline constantly flips every day. Like Aaron and a lot of channelers even said this. The timeline is constantly flipping and it's
Mm-hmm.
constantly creating timelines as we speak. But you have to stay in a balanced state of mind. If you don't stay in a balanced state of mind, you're going to create a reality of chaos on that timeline. And that chaos on that timeline will deplete itself.
I can agree with that. I
It's almost
I
like an
believe
episode
that
of
it's
Twilight Zone.
levels.
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe that is levels to the amount of dimensions being opened up
yeah,
simultaneously.
yeah.
Cause
It
while
is.
there's like beings like us around, it's beings that like been on this shit and they on a whole nother
Yeah,
epsilon. They in a whole nother aeon
yeah,
that we ain't even think of yet.
yeah,
So it's like it's a big shift. It's kind of like graduation day and a
yeah.
lot of the energy shifts because like we
It's a
finally
lot.
get into a generation that's going to a level that we haven't touched yet in the spiritual
Yeah,
realm. Like, we're going higher than what we were prior to colonialism and going to
yeah,
war with these folks. Like
yeah.
we're going higher than what we were then. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like we reopening new spaces. So like expect
Mm-hmm.
more firmament to open up to us because
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter, the story of Obatala, that was the formation of Earth and the heads of the people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're going to see more land. We're going to see different maps. As you got to understand that these people that have been keeping delusions, their thing is they believe that they can battle Saturn. Saturn ain't their friend, and that's why they try to teach you that Saturn ain't your friend
Mm-hmm.
so that your energy, you circulators out there can be in union with with what they doing.
Yep.
So they're trying
Yep.
to keep the delusion and illusion. Same thing as the Wiz. When the Wiz
Yep.
was behind the curtain, I need y'all to circulate. I said it's gold today. I said it's red today and I need y'all to do what I need y'all to do so that the evil queen over there, Saturn, doesn't come over here and think I'm weak. I got
Mm-hmm.
circulators. So
Yep.
that's what's happening right now. And so, but Saturn is out there with Neptune and Karma, and is laughable to them at this point with their alliance. and then the different planets that they're in alignment with, like well, actually, during the summertime, we had our placements in Cancer that was supporting a lot of the Pisces placements. So all summer long, you've seen a lot of our spiritualists get a lot of downloads, heavy downloads, and now it's because the connections of the waters. Now you'll see it again happening next month because we have a solar eclipse happening on the 14th, and then we have a lunar eclipse happening on the 28th. And then, mind you, Pluto is still square the north and south nodes. So those transformations is creating a little bit of static about, you guys really tapping into y'all gifts. But fear not, that stagnation in that space is for y'all to chill because there's other things going on that need to happen before you can move into your nodes again. But like, chill, y'all did the work. Now let Saturn, Neptune, and Karma do what they're doing. They gotta uncover some things and make some things. Guess what's going to happen? It's going to open up a space, and now all the work that you did already is finally going to get seen. But you keep producing, you're not going to be able to be present to see that window open. So chill. And that's what that Pluto square the nodes is doing. It's giving y'all that chill. But yeah, as we enter Scorpio season and the planets start to go into Scorpio energy, you're going to see that opening up between Saturn, Neptune, Karma, and our interpersonal planets in Saturn. That currency. Transformations in our solar plexus realm and our sacral chakra realm. All of that
Is that
matters.
like a karmic debt? It's almost like a karmic debt have to be paid before the age end.
Yeah. It's a karmic debt on all levels. Like if you've been overdoing it, if you've been one of the Emperor card or the Magician or whatever, all of that you've been doing is about to uncover. Pluto is also the planet of secrets, and that's sitting in Capricorn. Capricorn is the energy authority. Like who's been ruling our root chakras lately? A lot of people give that energy to God, Jesus. So you see a lot of transformation happening in that realm too. A lot of people been giving that energy to the Pope. Don't you? We've been seeing a transformation happening in that realm. People been giving it to the Queen.
Some people really got to understand, like it's bigger. Everything is bigger than what it seems. And people going outside of themselves and tend to go with the go along program, so to speak, because that program is we're playing like a mixtape. It's like a mixtape until you get tired of it. And once you understand the length and the stuff that come along with it and the lies and the manipulation that come with it, it's going to keep running you and you're going to keep falling for the okie dokie every time. And you really got to step outside of this religion and find out who you truly are. You really do. That's the only way you're going to make it through this the game that's actually being played right
now. Because all these indoctrinations, they teach you to go out. Like you ain't good enough. What you got going on in here ain't nothing. You got to go out there. You got to read other people's books. You got to watch other people's documentaries. You got to listen to other people's experiences and their knowledge and their research. All of that stuff is way more than what you've been going through, your personal experiences, whatever it is that you're doing. And so that's what the education system teaches you. That's why whenever somebody says something, the first thing they say is, where you read that at? Who wrote that? Da-da-da-da. As if it mattered. If I wrote the name of the author, would it matter? You wouldn't even know who I was talking about. But just the fact that I can put a quote outside of myself is you're stating that what I know and what I experience is not good enough. I have to say a source outside of myself. And by me complying to that, I'm agreeing with you. And that's what we've been taught. We've been taught that way in the education system. We've been taught that way in these religions, not just Christianity. It's also, Islam or Muslim culture as well. I can't wait for that empire to get weak because it's
all
not
the religions. Every
it's
last
all
one of
the
them.
religions. Every last one of them, and they're all falling because you want to know why. You want to know how it's falling. It's falling through a lot of these social media leaders. So this is more Saturn and Neptune and Karma sitting in Pisces. A lot of these spiritual leaders, as Pisces energy, has been creating these delusions and illusions on people on these screens. So they've been showing y'all, eat like this, live like this, da da da. And what they're saying is very valid. They're not leading y'all in the wrong way, but they're not showing what they're doing behind the curtain. So what's happening is that you're going to see a lot of things that's happening behind the curtain with a lot of these leaders come to the forefront. And there's going to be a lot of people that be like, dang, you too, dang, that's wild, that's wild. But it has to come out. And what that does is that opens up the door for the people that actually are righteous and supposed to be in these spaces to
Yep.
do what they're supposed to do and how it's supposed to be done. So we can get upset. You know, it is what it is. Because I'm sure somebody, at least one of us, is somewhat emotionally attached to. And guess what? What they're doing behind the curtain is going to come out too. And
Yeah.
it's just the way it has to be right now. It's the destruction that has to go before the reconstruction.
Man, and the thing about it, man, it's so much stuff going on right now, and not only just the weather, it's dealing with the mysterious insects and mosquitoes and you name it.
They've been
And
chasing me.
it's so much going on. Then
It was everywhere.
yeah, they had, I saw on a TikTok where it was some, like, they having some kind of festival or something. The helicopter come by and drop nothing but mosquitoes on them. People.
Oh yeah, you sent me that.
Mysteriously drop mosquitoes on people.
That's
Quote
disgusting.
unquote. Yeah, but
That is disgusting.
bugs bring different viruses and stuff like that too.
There's nothing new
So
under the sun. These people are literally like, this is how the retrograde is retrograding. Don't you see it? They're literally resorting back to the initial things they were doing. These people are about to go back
they
into
trying to be
savagery.
smart. Yeah, they
So
trying to be smart at it, but people know what's going on. I'm
they're
glad
going. They're going back to their innate self. They're going back to
yeah,
the savagery. You have to see
yeah.
it. They're glitching. Even their youth is glitching. We watched that over the last year or two when the different videos they smacking themselves, running in the walls, having meltdowns and stuff. They're glitching. They're going back into their savagery. So we
Oh yeah.
have to be
I tell
ready
you
on
another
that
thing,
level because that is happening.
and the thing about it, they try to create much of they try to create all the chaos and inflame. They trying to use the chaos energy, but they can't. But see, but now everything's so controlled and they have a little stamp on it because the higher councils don't even want them using magic no more. You know what I'm saying? Because they already voted that. So that's what they
Mm-hmm.
really upset about. They can't use no magic no more. The only thing they can do is uh
They gotta
bring
use
fear.
ours.
They try to use fear and chaos right now.
Mm-hmm. They use ours. They invoke us. They learned the art of conditioning doesn't really need to have magic. You
Mm-hmm.
got magic. If I can convince you to just do what I want you to do,
Have
you're
to
gonna
use
bring
it.
it. And you don't even know you're using magic
Yeah,
because I done dumbed your
your words.
vocabulary so the fuck down that the things that you're doing, you don't even recognize what you're really doing. You just
Yep.
think you just la 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 la. You don't even know what the fuck
Yep.
you up to. So that's what they do. They do it a lot of it through music. Music is a beautiful frequency. It's a beautiful
It
tool.
is.
It
Yep.
gets used very frequently, especially when they learned about the sonar and how the bats was communicating. They really killing our peoples out in the water with the frequencies. They see
Mm-hmm.
we don't watch these people for the last few decades or whatever be digging our people up and stuff like that. You can't go to their graveyards and dig their people up. They've been
Yeah.
digging our people up. They call it, oh, we drilling, we getting the oil. Da, da, da. We know what y'all doing. We know what y'all doing. Y'all
Then,
recycling our energy. That's the same thing as y'all bathing in
man,
our blood. Y'all
then
bathing in our oils.
what about the people that a property is getting took right from under them?
You see
I,
what's
I,
happening in Tennessee? That's so
the,
crazy.
it was an elder guy. I know he owned like a lot of acres in Texas and stuff. It was on
Mm,
TikTok. He hired a private lawyer uh to because what it is, it's like some real like rich people, because he owned like miles of acres of land. I'm talking about a lot, because it was in the way, and they
okay.
wanted his land to use. They wanted his land. They didn't know how to take it from him. So he hired a lawyer, and the lawyer sold his land right underneath him. The lawyer played them, sold his land. Because when you sign up, when you get a lawyer, and he actually for your best interest, it pretty much he can just
Or you
use.
put him as a trustee, kind of.
Yeah, he sold his land right from under him. That was crazy.
God damn it.
That's crazy.
He going straight
Yeah,
to hell for that one.
yeah,
Ooh, I know that
yeah.
hurt.
A
My
lot of them
chest
going.
hurt.
Yeah, but the thing about it, they don't even own none of this land over here.
They
This is
don't.
for the
They're just
people.
playing a game.
Yeah, the
This
people
money
own
that
this land.
y'all, this money that everybody tossing around, pretending like they're paying for land, that shit don't even exist. Yeah,
Yeah.
we made up a whole bunch of like middlemen. I
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But you know, Uranus and Jupiter are still in Taurus. And I have been saying that since it entered in Taurus. Like the things that y'all think is about to, like even that cryptocurrency shit is about to be gone. Like none of this
Oh,
stuff is gonna survive because
I
this
do
ain't
know
where
about
we
that.
supposed to be at. Yeah,
I gotta hit.
it might do good at some point in time, but it's gonna pop just like everything else because it's not
They
where it's
said,
supposed to
yeah,
be at. We not
yeah, they said
evolved
that.
enough for where the cosmos is trying to take us. It's not gonna come with that mindset that is attached to that shit.
But I know once the Babylon has fallen completely, and the new land rise um with new improvements, with new frequency, with new adjustments and everything that comes with it. There's gonna be a new everything. You know what I'm saying? This is the new
Mm-hmm.
world that's actually finna get built from the people. And what more to do it? Because we in a time of evolution. Everything rise, everything changes. The car is going to change. The city structure going to change. Everything around you change. Because if we go back to the late '80s, where we just had tapes and it went from CDs and stuff, and the radios changed, the TVs changed. The TVs went from big flat to flat screens and stuff like that. Cars changed over time. Everything changed. The clothing we wearing changed. The way we talk changed. Our slang changed. If you notice it, it's a pattern of evolution change because we in a time of change. Because when everything changed, everything else around you changed. It adapts with it as well. See, all this old stuff with this old stuff that we holding on, all that's gonna fall. All that's gonna deplete itself. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna deplete itself on the way out.
I agree.
It's just it's a lot of stuff going on, man. It's a lot. But I definitely like how TikTok actually going through a lot of different uh proof, and it just showing you every day somebody actually just is resurfacing something that nobody didn't understand. Just like the dude found out about the maps and he put it out there. I forgot his name. He on TikTok. He visited some shrine in another country where it showed everything was like it was like I'm trying to think of it. What is the Louisiana Purchase of the 1563 or 16, something like that. I don't know if you remember that. Remember, then it had the map with the compass. Then he showed everybody how the compass was in the ceiling. Everything was in reverse and stuff like that. He was just actually pointing out a lot of different factors like everybody don't see, and we actually going with it. Like if you on the West Coast right now, that's really the East Coast. If you on the
Mm-hmm.
North, if you on the North, that's really the South, and the South is really the North. Everything's upside down.
Yep.
So what you think about like far as like the charades that's going on?
As far as with the different people on social media or the government.
Social media with the people, and I know I just feel like it's just it's a it's a crazy vibe of energy. Just
That's the
every time I turn
transformation.
something on, just somebody getting killed or somebody in a relationship stab somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Man cheats on wife, and you name it. It just like you see it like randomly. Like that's that
Yeah.
chaos.
That's well, for every energy there's an equal opposite energy. And we don't have a lot of we do like we have spaces where we like talk like this or whatever, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't have news. You know what I'm saying? There's no like positive news channel where here we only talk about
Yep,
the
yep,
positive,
yep.
uplifting things, and even we don't have that. We never created that. Nobody does that. But like the equal opposite energy to that exists by the thousands. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why you would see all that because they actually put that on a platform. And
Yep.
then it's also the energies that are behind the scenes of those things. They they know what they're supposed to be doing. Like I want to keep y'all at fear. I want to keep y'all at chaos. So what am I going to do? I'm going to keep showing you images that are going to keep you in that same mental state. I want you to go outside and be scared. I want you to see people that look different from you and think, oh my God, it's a Karen, or oh my God, it's this, or oh my gosh, it's that, or oh my God, it's a police officer. Like, I want you to automatically be heightened and start to act irrational. I want that in the real world. So I'm going to keep showing it to you in the digital and the virtual. They've been doing that. They was doing that before they could even master or fathom what the fuck we built. This is just a result of figuring out what we had already created. If you look at the inventors of everything, they invented everything in the like 1800s. So how we invent all this shit in the 1800s if we were slaves and we were shackled or naked and halfway talking English? No, y'all came over here. We was already over here living our life. Y'all took over our buildings and y'all trying to make it seem like, oh, slaves built. No, free people built that building and you stole that shit. And you're still doing it. It's nothing new under the sun. Don't sit up here and say we lived in teepees and huts. Nomads lived in teepees and huts because that's how that was the dope setup for nomads if they had to do it that way. However, we wasn't all just chilling in teepees and huts. Don't do that. We had fucking statues up here that was tall, so tall y'all had to knock them down and pretend they was fucking mountains and carve y'all white people faces in them. So don't do that. We're not gonna do that here. And so like with all that, and that's why I be talking about like they really be lying on the timeline of how the culture was structured and what was really going on, the context around certain events. They just now starting to fathom how we was using computers and phones and shit once upon a time. They just now starting to fathom our inventions and shit. So now instead of us showing the posters in the newspaper all the time like they used to, now it's, oh, we can show you up here. We're gonna show it. We're gonna show you to you in 3 seconds, 3-second video. So you seeing a lot of different images in 3 seconds. Like if you see Clone, not just Clone Tyrone, but even the Men Who Stare at Goats or any other movie, when they do the mind control thing, they got their eyes wide open and they're looking at 1-2 second clips. And they're looking at something while a different noise is playing. They don't match. It's 2-3 different things and it's click, click, click. If you scroll on Instagram, it's the same thing. The sound and the visual don't match. They say, oh, stitch this sound to your video. And do this and do that. They're telling you what to do. They're telling you how they want their energy circulated. And people are like, oh my God, I want to be seen because if I get seen, I get paid. Oh, so you're gonna help circulate this energy because they're paying you? Bad. And people think that, oh, you only sell your soul if you're in Hollywood. No, y'all always you could be at McDonald's selling your motherfucking soul. It's the same thing.
But see, little people didn't know algorithm is a frequency. Algorithm is a frequency itself, but they use an algorithm to like kind of like reuse the energy and use that energy for like various things. That's why they use it, because people don't really know about this because it's so many frequencies out there people don't even understand. It's frequency of confusion, frequency of manipulation, frequency of like learning how to like download stuff. You know what I mean? It's so much stuff that the body has. Like the bodysuit, like I tell anybody, like the bodysuit, this meat suit that we on right now, it's a technology that was invented through the Anunnaki, because the Anunnaki enhanced the abilities and stuff like that in the suit. But the suit come with so much because we been around for so long, and we have been depleted off of different numerous like planetary systems, because a lot of people that's actually here in Earth is a lot of planetary different beings. We got Lemurian beings, we got Anunnaki beings. Like we have so many that's actually here in the flesh, walking around on planet Kai or planet Earth or Tamara. These people really don't know. We all don't know who he is, but we have to learn to understand ourselves. Once we learn how to understand ourselves, we can tap in to a greater power, and that greater power going let it unlock a lot of things about you. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna unlock a lot of secrets and doors because the body has so much secrets inside that we do not even know, because it's deeper than that. It's deeper than the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
We are a walking universe. You a walking universe. Everybody around here is a walking universe. We have our own universe, which is inside of us, and our ancestors is inside of us. So when you close your eyes, those are your ancestors that been here through different timelines and different earth timelines, different zones and stuff. They exist within inside of you. So when you light a candle and stuff like that, you actually summon the power from your ancestors. The higher self
Mm-hmm.
is the higher self is actually the higher Elohim beings that we truly trying to connect to. But it's more, it's like so much more that to this story that we still, trying to understand, because we really ain't scratched the surface just yet. You know what I mean? We haven't even begun it
Yeah.
yet. But it starts with the meditation. Definitely starts with the meditation. Um, you know, you have to adapt with the meals too, but you have to understand what can you eat? What can you eat? Because a lot of people got metals and heavy metals in their body that need to
Gotta go back
detox before.
outside. Ain't nobody trying to go outside. Everybody trying to get their food out the grocery store. Like, what can I eat
Yeah,
out of here? Nothing. Go back outside.
yeah.
Go
That's one thing.
outside and
I
untouched
just ordered.
land.
I'm just ordering me a heavy detox. I got me a heavy metal detox coming real soon.
Mhm.
But I do know cilantro is very good for heavy metal.
Yeah, you putting
Yeah,
it under your tongue is a thing.
yeah.
I was wondering about that. I was actually on the phone earlier about that. Like, I feel sad and kind of left out because I got this metal rod in my leg, and I'm like, oh, I can't really like detox myself from the metal. And he was like, oh
Well,
well, maybe
your body, yeah.
maybe it might dissolve and just like you can detox it after it dissolves. Like, that's a cool
It,
way. We didn't think
yeah, it's
about it.
still, you can still get rid of metals in your body though. You want to get rid of at least about close to 85 to 90% of metals in your body, because you got to understand that we've been around for a long, long time, since we was born on this planet,
Right,
eating meat, big old McDonald's sandwiches and Subway and churches and you name it. Because our
right.
parents brought that shit home, and we just like, hey, we want that. You know what I mean? Because like we have to understand all that stuff still sitting inside of you. Like all that garbage
Mm-hmm.
that we ate, man, it's still right there. And you more like a storage unit. You more like a big old U-Haul factory with storage full of like different
Yep.
parasites and all kind of stuff. So that's why you want to do the detoxic cleaning of the heavy metals to get all that stuff out you. You know what I mean? Because that stuff right there, man, once it start coming out, you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like it's stuff just coming out from years and years, and man,
So
it's
what do you use? What do you use for that? Is that
oh
death
yeah,
adrenaline?
yeah. It's called. It's you want to look into the heavy detox cleaner. You want to detox your livers. You want to detox your body, and it's heavy detox is very for the metals. Like it's like aluminum. It could be it's so many names for different like particles. These metals that's in your body and stuff. They just sit there, and they actually come from meat too, because different
Mm-hmm.
like beef and pork, because you don't know what swine is eating, you don't know what the cattle is eating, because they intake all that stuff in, and we actually eating the that meat and have that frequency, and it could be stressed out, or animals have feelings too, but when they die they have feelings. So
Right.
when a cow dies, he's depressed. He know what's going to happen tomorrow once he go into that butcher office. The chicken know what's going to happen once he get hung on that hook. And see, the
Mm-hmm.
thing about these animals, they form a depression, like, oh, you know what I mean? But you can actually release that energy out you, because it hangs on you. It hangs on to this body. But you can still detox your body, go through the purifications, and go through like a good detox bath, and go through some good Reiki healing is another way too, because a lot of Reiki healing get rid of a lot of that past trauma and a lot of stuff that's building and clogging all your chakras and stuff like that, from your head to your toes and stuff like that. They can actually help relieve a lot of that pain that been people been holding on, like family member pain and holding a grudge against my sister, holding a grudge against my dad, holding a grudge against my mother. But you got to learn how to nip it in the bud and learn how to like humble yourself and kind of like give people their apologies, and kind of like some people don't even think they wrong half the time and they hold it against you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's some people out there live like that. They actually feel like they right all the time, but they really deep inside they hurting badly. You know what I mean? Because they hurt so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why they eat the comfort food. Like those
Yeah.
animals that get in ice cream is still the cow or whatever. They
Mm-hmm.
misery loves company is a thing. You eating that miserable ass energy that brings you comfort, brings
Yep.
company to your misery.
Yep.
That
Yep.
makes
Yep.
sense. That makes a
And
lot of
another
sense.
thing too, people that visit you, different energies in and out your house, that and in your car too. So you got to be careful what
Mm-hmm.
stranger you invite inside of your car too, because they can leave their energy inside of the car, and that energy follows you home. Same
I
thing
always
with a
felt that
person.
way about like the
Yeah,
Lyft driving and all
yeah.
that. Like I don't really want all the people in my. I don't like people in my vicinity. Definitely
Yeah.
don't want you in my boxes.
Like, well, I'm gonna tell you, like one of my old practitioner cult friends. You can get you some salt and kind of like throw it in the corners of your house to get rid of that energy as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also use this. It's some floor cleaner. It's just it got sage in it, but I have to get the name for it. But it
Oh,
has
I
sage.
be
It has
mopping my
sage
floor
in it.
with some Florida
Yeah,
water. I make my own Florida water. I mop my floors with it and shit.
yeah, that's good too. Florida water. Yes, definitely Florida
Mm-hmm.
water. But it has something that actually has sage, like one of the spiritual practitioner invented some kind of cleaner, like mop cleaner, got sage and stuff in it. I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? That's a good one to use too. But you can actually take you some sage powder. That's what I was going to get to. Get you some, sage come in powder too. You can actually use that, put in your mop bucket, and saying that too,
That
and
makes
burn you some
sense.
sage and candles and release. I'm talking about your house to stay, the atmosphere of your house would stay exactly how you left it. You don't want all
Mm-hmm.
that tension, and you shook up and you worrying about a bill and all that other crazy stuff. You know what I mean? People gotta really use your power. You gotta use that power that this you was had since birth. You have a birthright to
Yeah.
use it.
We've been here for a very long time. We've been here too
Very
long
long
for you not
time.
to know how
Very
powerful you
long
are.
time. It's more like man, I can't even master
They
it.
say
Like,
like
whoo.
when you like hug one tree, you hug all the trees because they together at the root physically they connected. But like
Mm-hmm.
our roots are rooted in the cosmos. So when you
Yeah,
hug one person, you hugging everybody. When you look at one person, you have that energy exchange. You're having an energy exchange with everyone because
yeah.
we're
Energy
all
exchange.
rooted in the
Even trees got
cosmos.
energies. You know,
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
guy. I'm gonna tell you, electrician. He had a meter reader. This for all electricians out there. If you wanna go get your electrician meter reader and use that meter reader on a tree, and you can actually see the current of the flow of the tree, how much current pumping in and out of that tree from the
Hmm.
activity of the solar light that it received from the sun. You can actually see that. Then not only that, a man had took the same. He said he got a shock. He got shocked by a tree. He said it felt like a prison fence, or he said it felt like high voltage coming from a tree because
Damn.
it had a cut or something on it. Somehow he fell and slid down on it, and it shocked him so bad. He said
Hmm.
it felt like something out of this, like that you could put your finger in the socket. So that's where he had got that reader, and the dude was telling how much current was coming out of the tree. So he took some copper wire, wrapped it around the tree, and he put a box right there, and the tree was giving power. So everybody was coming to put their plugs, put their cell phone plugs in the tree, and so I'm like, uh, man, it's a lot of it's power on the planet. People just don't even know.
Oh yeah,
I'd be
definitely.
surprised that the ground got some energy in it too, because everything's so mysterious, right? Like everything's open up right now. Pandora's box is open. Like it's so much
Mm-hmm.
stuff that we still trying to understand.
I
But that was
agree.
that was right there. I mean, I was like, whoa, a tree with that much energy coming out of it. That's just like a solar plant, a solar panel outside. Because you
Mm-hmm.
constantly getting energy from the sun. So I don't see now why. See, I don't see why not the tree be had that kind of energy in it.
Right. It's probably like a certain like species of trees scattered around that have that. I would
Yeah,
think so. That would make sense to me.
yeah.
That's how they like scatter us around.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, but what else? I mean, what else you want to elaborate on? You know, anything other than people worry about celebrities? That really, man, people really need to get a life on that. Stop worrying about somebody. You ain't even worry about your own life.
Right. Right. Agreed.
And
It's really
worrying about going to Beyonce's concerts and stuff.
at this time, like with all these things going on, and I get it, it's justifications for that. Like all this stuff going on, I just want to be happy. I want to do this. I want to do that, and it's
Yep.
cool, I guess. Whatever. It's just have authority over yourself. Nobody should have authority over you and how you want to do things. I think I know after a certain age, keep blaming other people, places, things, and experiences for your own like
Yeah.
energy handling or mishandling is wild at this point. Like self
Hmm.
accountability got to be real. Knowledge is free at this point in time. Get it while it's still out there for you to have it because it's going to be a period of time where it's going to be difficult for you to have that.
Yeah.
So,
Just like the
like,
internet. Just like the internet.
mm-hmm.
All this stuff. Like we
And what
really,
you going to do?
you better be prepared, man. Cause hey, times is actually changing. Be prepared. Better
Yeah.
have your biggie bag ready.
All the stuff
Your
y'all
blackout.
relying on.
But you know what? You know my number one thing. Buy you some solar equipment. Like they have stuff right now that people can buy right now. You can buy solar power panels that actually will keep your house lit
Mm-hmm.
through the blackout times. So when it's they have a system out there I was looking at that actually have like 10 batteries and it will keep your house charged up for 7 days. Then they have another system that keep your house charged up for 3 days, long as it's charged. Because once it getting that energy from that sun, it stay charged for 3 days. So you might get a
Mm-hmm.
dark day tomorrow and it's still on. You feel me? So it's a good investment to invest in like solar equipment, like the lights, the radios, the walkie talkies, and stuff like that. You stay in contact. You know what's going on and stuff like that. Um, be
It's
like
time to
have
control your
yeah,
environment.
yeah,
Control your
have food,
environment.
have like food ready, the stuff that you can eat and stuff like that in a can and stuff like that. Better think ahead of the game, man. This might be y'all last income tax coming in. You feel me? Tax season coming up. Hey man, look here. Solar power system right there. People thinking about cars and stuff. I'm gonna buy me a car. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
I agree. And y'all better get in good with y'all neighbors, or y'all better have some land in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors, or the neighbors y'all know. Because if
Mm-hmm.
y'all not good with y'all neighbors, all that, it's not even like somebody coming on TV saying XYZ. It's the motherfucking people next door to you that's watching the
Hey,
same channel you got to be worried about. How are they going to react in this crisis situation? How are they going to move? How are they thieves? Are they consumers or producers? Who was their authority? Y'all gotta get to know y'all neighbors or like align with your trust. Stop playing and thinking y'all got all day and all night to finally get that land with your peoples and shit, cause you don't.
gotta
You
be with a
don't.
tribe.
A lot
Y'all
of
gotta
people sitting
move
there
as a
playing with
tribe.
their thumbs.
Yeah, move as a tribe. Move as a tribe.
Move as
Because
a
it's
tribe for
going
real, because we in the last months of the year 7. We about to go into the year 8. And what's 8? 8 is extremities and trauma, extreme transformations. In the same year, the 8 is when Pluto is going to enter Aquarius. We will be
mm-hmm.
having new a new president, whatever names. We have a few different planetary shifts happening in 2024. Our outer planet shifts. Uranus entering Gemini before it goes retrograde, and then we have I want to say, well, you already know Saturn and Jupiter make their transits, every year and a half as well. So we have a few different planetary transits happening in 2024. Also, the lunar and solar eclipses will be more so in the northern hemisphere than the
Yeah.
southern. So all that stuff that's happening in the southern hemisphere these last couple of years, you see it's in alignment a lot with the fact that a lot of the celestial happenings have been happening in the southern hemisphere. So they're going through their transformations and going through their things now. And then next year in 2024, y'all been walking around thinking y'all exempt. Okay, keep walking around thinking y'all exempt. Like we next. The northern hemisphere is next to go through these
Yeah.
different transformations we
Yeah.
gotta go through.
Yeah.
Y'all better stop pulling y'all thumbs thinking y'all got all day because y'all making money pulling cards on the internet because y'all don't. Y'all better align with y'all tribe for real. It's a lot of people with this like solo dolo mentality still, and it's like it's not gonna get you nowhere. How well do you think you're gonna be able, especially over here where I live? I live in New Jersey. Every state in this area got a major city. How well do you think that you're gonna be able to board up your home and keep your solar panels to yourself?
Yep.
Like, come on now. Like, we gotta play smart. You'll keep saying me, I, and that's gonna put you in a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, I gotta be extra careful, man. Because I told him, man, this might be the last time. The last time them taxes gonna flow through. I told him, man.
It's gonna be the last time for
I
a
can feel it.
lot of things. Y'all
I
gonna be
feel
like,
it.
I remember in 2023. Yeah, that was the last time.
Yeah.
That was the
I
last time.
said because they, it's gonna be a point, the reality changes. So after a while, cars gonna seem to be like upgraded to something else. You know what I mean? But even if you have trouble with your car, you better have your couple bicycles on standby. That's all I'm telling you. Move like the paper boy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, man.
I'm saying y'all need to get together with y'all peoples, get some land in the middle of the wood, do it like we did it before. We went to the woods so many times. We
Yeah.
can do it again. Wait this shit out. We in alignment with another. Y'all learn how to barter. You don't gotta do everything by yourself. That's the problem. Everybody, I don't want to do it by myself, so I'm gonna
Yep.
learn how to plant everything by myself and do all this. Why are you doing all that by yourself when you can align with other like-minded people? You always like we're not supposed to be alone like that. You can't. I mean, I'm not gonna say you can't survive like that, but it's gonna be a difficult survival. So good luck with it. But like, yeah, it's definitely in the year 7. Y'all got a few more months left according to the fiscal year. So if you are still ruled by money, if you are still under the rulership of money, you have about 3 months to get it together. Now, if
Yep.
you
Yep.
under
Yep. Yep.
rulership by spirit, you got about 7. Either way, you still don't got a lot of time. You better hurry up and align with your people and make that root chakra reality what it needs to be. Keep playing with your root chakra if you want to. It's gonna be in the air. You ain't gonna know who it belong to.
Yeah.
Everybody got authority over you.
Yeah.
You got these things happening with these different contracts. That's why I'm like, I really look forward to these different empires. Their Saturn and Karma days are coming because a lot of them are lying to y'all about their origination, their contributions to different, places in the world and economics. It's like they pick and choose. Like, oh yeah, we taught them everything, but like we're just gonna ignore the fact that they did this over here with it. Like, no, we're not. You taught them how to do that too because that's what y'all were doing, and that's
Yep.
how y'all empire fell, and that's how Pluto did what it did in the year space because you was doing the same shit they was doing. You taught them how to do it. Same
Yep.
thing,
It's a preparation
the
year.
yeah, the
Preparation.
Spanish slave trade was, it was black people in that joint too. The transatlantic slave trade, black people in that joint too, with some Hamites and some Canaanites in there. Don't get it twisted. and then and the Arabic slave trade, like it's nothing new under the sun. Y'all always was
Yeah.
doing this, and
All
that's why
all
I'm like,
all revealed. All revealed.
yes. So
Always
all
been.
that Sankofa shit, like the Sankofa shit is cool to an extent, but y'all not gonna keep going back into time and trying to bring that present, because if we keep it 100, a lot of those times y'all trying to go back to deal with the objectification of women and children, them getting raped, them being seen as chattel and war, being conquered. The same thing with men too, it's like a mental game and stuff like that. Because it was not living righteously once upon in all these space and time, and that's what you're gonna see in a lot of these leaders. A lot of these leaders like to go back to certain spaces in time, and they want to ignore certain social constructs like verbally, because they want y'all to overlook that, and y'all don't have enough discernment to like say, oh well, if I look back to that time and era, that actually wasn't that equal. That actually wasn't like, we wasn't doing everything we were supposed to be doing back then. Like they like followers. They don't want nobody that's gonna come into their space and do that. So because they're attracting just followers, nobody's doing that, and they're bringing people back into that space. But Saturn and Karma is in that space, and they're going to shed light what's going on behind the curtain. Like,
Yeah.
we just seen it, and we gonna see it with a few more people. Everybody is adamant by following just because they skin folk. Like, them being skin folk and wearing crystals and that don't mean shit, bro. Look at the period of time they're trying to drag you back to, and look at what was going on during that period of time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, we're not going back there. That's why we were experiencing things we never experienced before, because we're evolving more spiritually now than what we have ever done. We've never been this spiritually inclined before,
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
the beginning when we came through the womb as a people. So even the things we're doing spiritually, it's not nothing you can go back to in a book. We're doing things like totally different now, and we got to learn how to accept that and overstand. A lot of these people is telling you to go back to the period of time when they was in charge. They trying to take you back to their period of time where they was on top, because they're not
Yeah.
doing their shadow work. And they
Yeah.
like, well, in my mind, I remember I was a pharaoh over here doing da 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 da. So I want y'all to come back over here, get back on my boat, get back on my boat. So you bringing the sheep on your boat. This person talking about an empire that such and such created. They bringing the sheep on their boat. Like, it's still boat. You still getting on other people's boats. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point in time, we're not going back to nothing else. We're making new things, and it's okay if you're one of those kind of people that has to get on somebody else's boat, but have a certain level of discernment. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going back in time no more. Nowhere can you go back in time and say, oh, that shit was righteous. There's nowhere. You can go back in time and take bits and pieces and say, okay, I like this over here and that over there. And you could
Yeah.
do that. You could make a little salad or
Yeah.
whatever. But we're not going back in time. We're not
Yeah.
doing that. So let it go, y'all.
I know a lot of challenge was talking about that, like this is like actually the past right here, because
Yeah.
we're trying to correct the future mistakes that we did, because we every time we get to that ninth parallel timeline, it always got looped back. When it got looped back, it restarted over again, because we didn't know how to approach that ninth gate. The ninth gate was like the entrance for evolution to begin with everybody. You know what I mean? Because we were sinking in a lot of information. We were sinking in a lot of sun. They didn't want none of that. They weren't having it. They went. They were, man. They did not want that, because we are spiritual beings, but we have spiritual abilities. Every last one of us have different abilities, and different abilities to tap in different things. You know what I mean? Like, you can read like different spiritual books and still question it. But see, this where you come in at and say, now it's time for me to go within myself and keep learning. You know, a lot of different books, and it's good. It's okay to step outside and read different random books. It's okay to read angelic. It's okay to study this, because it's so much spiritual stuff. Like like women alone is automatic tap in from the since the time you was synced into earth, since the time you was born. Y'all have a natural ability to actually come on faster than them masculine. You know what I mean? Because we are protectors, and we have the ability to step into our godly power too as well. That's what our mission was, to be the protector, be teachers, and be more of the protector for the woman. You know what I'm saying? Because they try to separate the two, And once they separated the two, that's where all the misdirection come from. That's where that ain't shit. That's the ain't shit, baby daddy, and you know what I'm saying. You feel me? That's where all that stuff
Mm-hmm.
come from is program. Then you got the woman stepping to the side, hating the man stepping to the side. Now you got making room for different parties to venture off different directions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they try to make the masculinity more feminine than what it is, and they try to feminize the female as well. You know what I'm saying? Try to
Mm-hmm.
separate it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a powerful thing when the two step into the flame itself, because the two itself can actually, the woman can um could turn that man conjuring on. You know what I mean? Just by the love and the commitment that you put inside with that man, that conjuring ability comes online more faster. You have that connection, that spark, that all source, that energy. You know what I mean? Because the two energies like this.
I agree. That energy needs to learn how to come together and complement one another,
Yeah,
and it has a lot to do with it really does start with self, and in learning that like there's a spectrum to the amount of masculine and feminine energy that people have within themselves, and then it's like I think the I feel like social media is a great tool, but because we never were taught how to communicate, we misused it. So when you were talking about how we were trying to open up the ninth gate and we need to go back, I feel like that's what's happening right now. We got to go back and learn how to
yeah,
communicate. We have this wonderful communication tool, and none of us ever learned how to talk. Like we
yeah,
never learned how to express when things hurt us. We never learned how to say, how we feel about certain experiences. So what we
yeah,
do is we project. I had got I had this dialogue with this, individual, and I get that, the message that this person was trying to convey was important. They were talking about an experience with mothers and fathers. However, it was a projection, and it is what it is. I get it's a powerful message. I get that a lot of people can resonate with it, but it was a projection. It wasn't a personalized, self-accountable statement. I went through this, and because I went through this, this is now my vision of how things are. There's
yep,
no
yep,
accountability or
yep.
responsibility in people's
Facts.
statements anymore. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
just like men do this and women are like that and mothers do this and fathers are like that. And
Yep,
that's not the proper way to communicate. That's not
yep,
how we do that here. And
yep,
people really don't get that. And for that reason, we just have a lot of miscommunication, a lot of lack of discernment, a lot of oversharing or undersharing, or just a lot of just like misdraws happening on this platform, to where we need to go back
yeah,
and learn how to communicate, because now we're giving birth to a generation that's not communicating at all.
okay.
So, like, if
Yeah,
we do enter that realm of telepathy, like, what's really happening here? Because we still ain't mastered the throat chakra. The throat
it's
chakra
coming.
never got
It's
mastered.
coming.
The child had to stay in the child's place. The women couldn't be seen or heard. You ain't have no nerves, remember?
It's coming.
You wasn't allowed to cry. Remember, that was for girls.
Yeah, yeah,
We both
yeah.
got shut down in different ways in our throat chakra. So now we have this platform. And it's so funny. I still see it now. Like, if we try to use our throat chakra on this platform and use any type of accountability and like personalize different accounts, you get attacked by the people that shut you down. The aunts and uncles, they come. They come to the inbox. They come to the status like, you shouldn't say that out here. You shouldn't. That should be
Yeah,
for home discussion. That should do. But that's the muzzle. That's the muzzle. That's the source right then and there. Why we can't talk about certain things. And then
yep,
it's like the power of washing away the entitlements that come with certain titles that people have in your life, and really seeing the energy for what it is. The energy is just an energy. Like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, you gonna determine how our bond remains, buddy.
Yeah. I want to say before we had ended live about the communication thing.
Mm,
Okay, y'all, we all have this device right here, right? We all have this device, the cell phone, right? So the new evolution coming in, right? The upgrade. We no longer gonna need that no more, because we're gonna be so synced in with Earth that you could telepathically call somebody through your head, through
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, through your ability. It's just like that virtual they have like a virtual kind of like where it project the image to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I know you see it in the cartoons like Dragon Ball Z and stuff, Naruto and stuff like that. Stuff like that. They've been telling us in cartoons, but that's going to be another type of technology that actually coming to us, because we're gonna actually tell a person, we can actually speak through our head to them. We no longer have to communicate, because that's gonna be one of our abilities. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. So
We
definitely,
already
man.
doing that. I know we already doing that, because we be like, yo, I was just thinking about you. Yeah, I felt it. I'm here. And it's just like, once we start to come
Yep.
into that level of awareness, then we can start deliberately doing it and being
Yep.
deliberate with it. But you got to understand, we be praying to our ancestors. Our ancestors are here. They might be over in fucking Madagascar, and another ancestor ended up in Bolivia somewhere, and another ancestor is up there in our north. But like, the ancestors are
Go
here.
ahead.
So when you like
Go
in
ahead.
that space where you speaking and talking to ancestors, and you meet people in your physical space, you gotta understand, like, these are the people that you summon. This is the energy that you summon. No energy is created or destroyed. So like, we are our reincarnated ancestors. So I love that, like, we all had a period of time, and some of us are still in that period of time, where you're meeting people and they just look so familiar. Like, oh my God, why is our energy just clicking like this? It's like, yeah, you summoned me. You wanted this ancestor. I am this ancestor. Our energy aligns because I am you. Like, we closer on the roots than the other roots on the other side. We closer here, and it's not about what you've been taught about blood. See, that whole blood, that family blood lineage, it's important too, but that's rooting yourself in the human experience if you follow that too hard. So you gotta be careful what you put your root chakra in, because your Keter, which is in your root chakra, is also in your crown chakra. So, because you're
Yep.
supposed to be rooted in the cosmos, you're not supposed to be rooted in this human experience. This is a sidebar experience, so we can do what we gotta do. So you have a balance of both, but you're not rooted here. This ain't it. Peace.
Peace
Thank
to
you,
the God right
love.
there. Peace to the firstborn.
I see more alignments happening in different realms on different things. We can watch the bad guy. I like watching the bad guys. I like watching the villains. I'm entertained here, because I like
Are you
Saturn.
entertained?
I'm so entertained. It's funny to watch them scramble for power. Like, we came up with a
Hey,
new law.
hey,
Like,
man, it just feel like a whole like Twilight Zone sitcom all in one, and you just sit through the movie and try to play it out and wait for the credits to roll up. You know what I mean? But I
yeah.
don't know if you watched the 100. I think it's
Oh,
called the
yeah, I
100.
started it. I ain't finished it. I know what you're talking about,
Oh
though.
man, it got so many like different shows. Is actually kind of like how actually it's almost like how the story is projected, how the world is actually moving. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's so many.
It's like the
So many.
spirit of time is when, how the FBI is knocking at the door, so everybody in the office is putting the papers in the shredder and fucking breaking
Yep.
through the computers. That's exactly what's happening now in these corporations. They try and shred the papers and break the computers and stuff, while Saturn and Karma is knocking at the door. But either way, the light is going to be shed on through. It's
She said,
going
"I'm
to
waiting for
happen.
Jesus to come knock on the door."
Y'all ready for Jesus if y'all want to?
Yep.
Jesus gonna be like, why was y'all waiting on me? Jesus never asked y'all to follow him. Like, even if y'all want to personify Jesus, we can personify him, because as above, so is below, as within, so is without. And if you
Yep.
keep it 100, we had a few different Jesuses.
Yep.
None of them ever asked y'all to follow them. They asked y'all to listen what I'm saying, and then I want you to expound on it and be better than me.
Go
Like,
ahead.
do your own version of the thing that I'm saying. I'm giving you the skeleton, the blueprint, but I want you to put your flavor on and do your thing. But nobody listened to that. Everybody just followed, and that's why they followed that man straight to hell, because that's where he went. He went to hell. They had to do a whole nother thing and to go to heaven. Like, come on
Yeah.
now,
It's
all that
almost
because
like
you had
it's like
followers.
it's like almost like remind me of how I'm trying to think of that guy name that he made is a serial killer. I don't know if it was John. the John Gacy story. It was one of them, but he actually had a whole tribe of people was just following him. And it was like to the point where he just like they were finna take this poison, like, oh, we finna go to a new world called a bliss or something. Like it was called a bliss or something. And they was taking some poison. It was like 30 of them, maybe 40, 50 of them. And they took this poison, all of them died. That's just like it's like following.
I know what you're talking
Why would
about,
you
but I
follow
forgot his
somebody?
name.
Why would you follow somebody and it's gonna lead you to a cliff? You actually gonna jump off with them? You actually gonna swim with them? You actually gonna just suicide, just go ahead and, so to speak.
These
but that's how
followers
people
be
is.
passionate.
They don't know how to be a leader. They too busy trying to follow the leader. We've been doing that since we were little, but damn, y'all still playing this game?
Some people don't grow out of that game, and it's so crazy to see. And that's cool. If you gonna follow people, at least follow somebody worth following. Though y'all just be following any old body. Like this dude got a tattoo on his face, and he said that he know about Egypt.
I gotta get one too. I gotta get one too.
I gotta get one too. I gotta
go get
too.
Here go another one for the females. Oh, I gotta go get my injections. I just don't feel like I got enough back there. You know what I mean? Oh, I gotta get this done. I don't feel like I got enough. You know what I'm saying? But y'all letting these celebrities is actually influence the mind and the brain, and they getting programmed over and over. What you following a program? Yeah, that program is actually doing it. And don't get me started with the guys now. They actually getting BBLs now.
Oh, word, that's wild. I thought it was wild when girls do it. It's definitely wild when dudes do it. I heard Kanye had got that done too at first. And I was like, nah, they been killed that nigga. He ain't do that shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Hey, no, they getting their body done and getting these fake muscles and stuff like that.
Why not just go to the gym? Honestly, I don't even like the gym.
Tell me about it.
Because somebody that broke it down to me, he was like, once upon a time.
What happened to that? You know what I'm saying? What happened to like committed to like going and get it done? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's no commitment.
Yeah, and I understand you got money, but
it's so crazy.
I understand you got money, but go and take your lazy ass down and lift a weight.
He was like, they feminized how men produce, how men provide. And I was like, break it down. Okay, once upon a time, if a man wanted to provide shelter, he had to learn how to build a house. If a man wanted to provide heat, he had to learn how to make a fire. But now a man can get any type of job and make the money to get it done. So it's no more manifesting. Manifesting is the festival of the hands. It's still manifesting, but it's like a softer button. It's an easier button. It's the reason why we shrinking and our bodies is changing and being more like vulnerable. We're going into a physical vulnerable state here, and it's because we're not using our body the way we used to. And I'm like, that makes sense. I was like, if I could, I would like to bring that back. Being able to use our body the way we used to, because it was way more durable because of the way we were using it. It's like we created these things to replace nature and what naturally was going on instead of complementing. And that seems to be where we fucked it up at.
Yep. Man, I guess when we get time again, we got to drop another one, sis, like in another 2 weeks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you get ready or whatever.
Agreed.
I'm free on the weekends though. You can reach me on the weekends though. I definitely want to drop another show on another topic. Yeah,
I'm here for it. I know we both got vampires because mine was stomped up the stairs like twice already.
Oh yeah.
No.
Got like little Batman running around.
Respect.
Everybody, you know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to stay love, man. We finna get ready to close it out. Stay much love, man. And definitely y'all check Sunshine Monet out. And she definitely dropping jewels for card reading, coaching, anything that you need for like, assistance with, she can definitely help you out with that.
I try my best.
But definitely I'm gonna drop some more like spiritual content and stuff like that. I reached out to a couple of people and stuff, trying to see if I can make that happen. You know what I mean? I reached out to a couple challenge people that actually channeling like different beings and stuff, like, you know, like um beings from Syrian, beings from Nauru and stuff like that, and Andromeda beings and stuff like that. And these people that actually does this, and they actually teaching how to do it. You know what I mean? How to go and, you know, because you have ancestors that's lined up. Because some people might have Lemurian, some people might have Anunnaki, some people might have, you know, Syrian, and it's different, like different beings. Because we living around different beings every day. You know what I'm saying? You have a you have a spiritual family that you can connect to, and that connection actually increase a lot of different things, and it open a lot of truth and a lot of vaults that's inside of you. You know what I mean? Because you know, people question like, what the, why I'm here? What is this? What is this? I need to know. I need to know, because people wants to know the truth about themselves. So what better,
Right.
what better more into like having somebody to help you, and you receive the education in between. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I mean, I tell anybody that's a go-to. You know what I mean? A very go-to. But definitely, I'm trying to reach out with Aaron too. But you know, I had reached out to her too. So definitely, man. So y'all definitely, anything you want to say to close out, Sunshine Monet?
I'm just authority, self-authority. That is the focus. Self-authority.
Yeah,
Do
definitely.
that this retrograde. If you didn't do it the first time around, you got another chance.
Please do stay in shadow work, stay grounded outside. All this chaos energy gonna keep that nagging in your house, and that back and forth, and you know, you wonder why you're
Mm-hmm.
arguing in the house. You know why y'all arguing in the house. So you need to do the spiritual work and clean that thing up, man, for real. Or y'all gonna be like at each other's throats. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
retro. It's not playing no games.
Nope.
No
All that stuff
games.
y'all ain't addressed is about to
Mm-hmm.
come up. It's gonna get
Yeah,
addressed.
yeah, definitely. Much love to the ancestors. Much love to Earth Speaks. Much love to Rod Hayes. Much love to the governors. Much love to all, you know, everybody in the spiritual community. You know, keeping it 100. This is your boy Z and the Sunshine Monet. We out of here.
Peace
Yo,
out.
peace, peace.